Hey guys, welcome to Make It Dairy Free. I'm Larisha.
I'm Andrew.
And welcome to our first video of 2024. We are starting out with cheese, vegan cheese, of course, which is the most requested, I think, product review that we get is, what do all the cheeses taste like? Are they good? Do they compare to dairy cheese? And any question along those lines. I couldn't think of any more questions. If you are new to us, we have been requested by our viewers across the years to not cut any of our bloopers out, so it's a little chaotic at times and fun, I will say. You're already like, here we go.
I'm like, man, it's already starting.
Already started. All right, so our friends at Good Planet sent us their brand new cheeses. They just recently launched, and so we thought that we would try them out. We have not tried any of these because they're brand new, but they are all made with an olive oil, and so it is the first dairy-free cheese made with an olive oil base, and I'm kind of excited to see how that translates into like taste and texture and meltability. I don't know if that's a word. Is that a word?
I don't see why not. Okay,
meltability.
If it's not, it is certainly now? Like
it's in the vegan vocabulary.
Yeah, like people are aware.
Yeah. I had something else to say and I don't remember what it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of these products. Oh, I know what it was. So we have had Good Planet before. I wanted to point that out. So we've had their slices. They are harder to find where we live on the East Coast. However, the slices that we've had melt very well, and overall the taste has been great. It's just a harder product for us to find, so we don't get it that often. Yeah. As far as allergens go inside of these, there are no top 9 allergens in any of the products. And we also didn't notice anything like corn or pea protein or any of the other ones you guys have asked us to look for, which is great because if you can find these, then it's pretty allergen friendly.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. So there are 8 products. 2 are cubes, 3 are blocks, and then 3 are shreds. So what we plan to do is we're going to try the cubes just by themselves. We are going to slice up the blocks and put them on crackers, and then we're going to do something with this that I don't know that we decided. Did we decide what we're doing with this?
I figured maybe we just...
Oh, you said grilled cheese.
Yeah, do like a grilled cheese. But also I looked at some of these, and I honestly think these might be the same exact thing, just cubed and not.
Yeah.
Because the ingredients line up to be the same exact thing, so maybe it might not be beneficial to do all of them, but it's up to you. Right.
So while we were getting started, we noticed that the cubes, one is called Spicy Monterey Jack, where this one is called Mexican Style Monterey Jack. Monterey. Why can't I say that word right now?
You did say it
Monterey?
correctly.
Monterey. Now I feel like I'm messing it up right now. You ever say the word and you know you're saying it right, but it sounds weird?
Yes, but now that you keep saying it that way, I can't.
Now you can't figure out which.
Yeah, right? I just am like, I want to say the same thing.
Monterey.
Yeah, no, why not?
Okay, it appears that they have the exact same ingredients. So, but they have different names. So it's kind of tripping us up, but we're not sure. All right, we'll start by opening these. You can open this one. I'll open this one. So The 2 cube varieties that we were sent are Tuscan herb mozzarella and a spicy Monterey Jack. I don't know. However you say that word. There will be a blog post description linked in the comments that have close-up pictures of all of these things, as well as ingredient list and where you can find a store locator and all of that.
Yes.
Okay.
So really quick, just right off the bat, I want to say that you can't tell these different from looking at them.
They look exactly the same.
This looks like the same exact cheese you have over there. Like obviously, if you're staring, maybe you could probably.
Do they smell different? Smell this one. That smells like pizza. What's that one smell like? No?
Not to me.
I smell jalapenos in that one. if you give it a big whiff. Here, I'm giving you a
Maybe
little
we
piece.
test that later.
You're gonna blindfold me and see if I can taste
Taste
it?
the difference.
Taste or smell?
Smell the difference, I meant.
Okay, ready?
What am I doing? Is this we're just eating these like this?
Yeah.
I heard you say it, but I'm still computing.
Yeah, so this is the Tuscan. I'm sorry.
That's all good.
All right, go. Why does your face look like that?
Because I'm skeptical?
Oh, we don't have no water if you don't like something.
I don't think I would ever bought like a flavored cheese like this. Which one is this? The Italian?
Yeah.
Something another?
Herb.
The herby one? Yeah, I don't think I would ever bought that back when I did eat cheese. I was either plain cheese, the Monterey Jack cheese I definitely have bought before, but not something like this.
I'm just gonna, because this is the exact same, you can put it back in there.
In here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because this is the exact same one, I was just gonna taste it. This is what we think is the same one.
Yeah.
Wait, right? Yeah, Italian.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Tastes the same.
It tastes exactly the same.
You're able to take big bites of that stuff.
What, just in general?
Yeah, that's surprising.
I will say that it's smooth. So when you see the picture in the blog post, or maybe we can take an image and put it up here, but it almost looks like some of the pieces have come off and there's like a little bit of cakey, or I wonder if this is a caking agent. I don't know. It doesn't say that there's a caking agent on these, but it looks like that. But so I was nervous that it was gonna be like grainy, but it doesn't, I don't translate that when I'm biting into it. It's actually really smooth. And overall, I like the taste of it. I did expect the herb to be more, we're just gonna keep going, come on.
Yeah, no, you're...
I expected the herb flavor to be more potent.
Yes.
And I didn't necessarily feel like I got that, but I think that this would still be good if you were putting out like a charcuterie board or a grazing board or just like cheese and crackers when you have friends over or something. I think this is a great option.
In my personal opinion, I have never liked a vegan cheese alone at all.
Okay.
Like I feel like I always have to have the cheese with something.
Okay.
Eating it alone to me is more of like it's like a detriment to the cheese, because now I'm trying to like compare to what I remember, and what I remember is really good, and this or any other doesn't taste as well, you know.
But I think compared to a lot of other vegan cheeses, I agree with you that I don't typically like them by themselves. However, there's no weird aftertaste to this. There's no like, this is disgusting. Like, this is actually good.
Okay.
You don't agree. You just don't.
No, I just don't. Yeah, I'm not like, what's that face?
I felt like I was biting into like a leaf or something.
Oh, I think I might be the little pieces of like
jalapeno
red and green jalapenos.
Yeah, that was weird.
I'm not trying to measure on whether like I'm right or wrong. I'm just telling you a personal preference.
Yes.
Yeah, like as a personal preference. That's the way I feel about it. So anytime I've recommended cheeses, I would recommend it in something. I would never do a charcuterie board of vegan cheeses because it's been a little tough to convince me of like one that's really that good.
Whew, there's a kick to that.
You didn't taste it when you had this, huh?
Yeah, I think it's like the more you eat, the more.
Oh, okay. So with that being said, I was gonna say maybe can I try it with a cracker, and maybe that might make me feel a bit different about it.
You want to try it with the slice?
It might be easier. Why not?
So the blocks and the cubes, even though they have different names, it appears taste-wise to be exactly the same. So the Italian style mozzarella block and the Tuscan herb mozzarella cubes appear to be the same, and then the Mexican style Monterey Jack, whatever that word is, Jack, and the spicy Monterey Jack cubes appear to be exactly the same. How do you feel about it with the cracker? But still not something that
Sorry, we should have had something to drink. I was trying not to talk with too much food in my mouth there.
Oh.
I certainly feel better about it now.
Okay.
And I agree that I don't taste any like weird graininess or aftertaste.
Right.
When it comes to it. But still not one of the cheeses that I think I personally could enjoy on its own. Mm-hmm. I would think it pairs well with something so far. So far I've had it with a cracker. So I can imagine with like any type of like breaded type of item. Maybe you're eating a salad with croutons, or you're doing like a pizza, something like that. I think right now I would definitely think is a good idea. Or even tacos, where there's not really a breaded item, but having those other textures with that, I think would be like a real good item.
Yeah. So I am a person that can eat dairy-free cheese by itself. I love it with crackers, but I can also just like break sliced cheese apart and like eat it with like
we used to do string cheese.
Yeah,
thing, right?
like I can do that. Not so much the shredded, because I don't like the caking agents that are on most of them. But stuff like this I do, and I actually do like this. I think that the flavors are great, especially the Mexican style one. I prefer the block just because I think that it feels a little bit smoother, which may be weird because it's probably the exact same thing and it's just in my head.
Yeah.
But that's just how I feel about it.
I mean, obviously visually it looks smoother, so
yeah.
It's definitely probably one of those like eye and mouth coordination kind of things.
Right.
Yeah.
To me, it's a very smooth texture. It has like a creaminess to it, and there is none of that weird aftertaste that we had when we first went vegan and started eating cheese. I feel like cheese has come a long way just in 5 years. But I think that's the biggest thing for me, is that there's no weird aftertaste to it.
Yeah.
So overall, I like this. We are going to cut and be back in 3 seconds, but we're gonna go make some grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese, yeah.
With this, and just see how it melts. And then
obviously we'd be able to give an opinion on what the shredded cheese tastes like, if it differs in any way or anything like that.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So we are back. We took little rolls and toasted them, and then put the mozzarella and cheddar on, and then toasted it. I did 2 different things just to see. On the mozzarella, I put it on a little heavier, and on the cheddar, I put it on a little lighter, because I thought that it would determine whether or not how it would melt. Mm-hmm. That made no sense how I just said that, but I think you guys understand what I'm saying. I
think it made sense.
Did it?
I mean, I understood it.
But we've been together forever, so maybe you just understood how I talk.
Maybe.
And it did, we're gonna show a little clip on your screen, but it did work. It melted more like dairy cheese when you did it thinner, and not as much, but it still melted well on the mozzarella.
What is the scale of melting well and not? Like,
well, I think melting what, like, look, like that has a pull.
Okay.
Like I remember, like
so that means it melted well.
I think so. Like there's been like, and then like it's gooey. Like there's been dairy-free cheeses that we've tried that there's no pull, or there's no distinction between like what was warmed and what was not. Like it will still look like it's straight out of the package on top of it. So I think those are the big things that people are looking for when they have a dairy-free cheese.
So when I think of melted well, again, I keep going back to that, comparing it to normal cheese.
Right.
And I find a lot of people who are looking at cheeses aren't usually like, 5th, 6th, 7th, 10-year vegans.
Right.
They probably are. I'm not saying that we don't, because we're still interested in them, but they're not the people that are like really looking at, these.
Traditionally, the people that are looking for that are, I'm vegetarian because cheese is the only thing holding me up because of taste and melting and variety and all of that.
Yeah, so that's the reason I compare it to that. And when I look at this, like, to me, I still see shreds,
Yeah.
I should say, laying on here. And my thought was, like, melted well. When I remember melted, like, I couldn't tell that I put shreds on there or a block on there or just a big glob of mozzarella on there. Like, I couldn't tell because it pretty much just turned into, like, an egg yolk on there when it's spread. You know what I mean? So that's why I said melted well. I'm like, what's the scale exactly?
Yeah. For clarification, this was under a broiler for 2.5 minutes. So it wasn't under there long and it melted like this. So I also think that has to do with it.
For sure.
If you put this on top of a baked pasta, like we have a baked penne pasta, and put this in the oven for 30 minutes, there's no way it's not going to be completely melted like what you're talking about. Or a pizza at 500 degrees. You know what I mean? Like those type of things.
Which is kind of what I was getting to, is that I think it's helpful for the details to be shared with them, because we're saying like melted well and then somebody else gets it and they try it and they're like, they said this melted well. And they're like, well, it didn't. So the context, I think, matters.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to try the cheddar first. Ready?
No.
Why?
I just never am.
Okay.
You upset with me not being ready?
Oh, no. I actually get a cheddar taste.
I don't think it's bad.
I like this.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad at all.
All right, let's try this. And then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
So obviously when you're eating dairy, there's a clear distinction in cheddar versus mozzarella. And to me, I can get a distinction between both of these. I think the cheddar has a nice like sharp taste, and the mozzarella is very creamy and buttery. I wanted to put this on here thicker for two reasons. One, to see if it would differ in the melting, but also I feel like a lot of times when people go dairy free, they're still trying to put just as much cheese on whatever they're making and thinking that it's supposed to act the same, and then they get upset when it's like gooey or like sticks to your mouth and stuff like that, not realizing that they just need to add less. Even though there's more on here than this, I don't have that like this, it didn't stick to my mouth or my teeth or anything, even though it's thicker on here, which is really nice. What are your thoughts?
So I agree with what you initially said, where I could tell the difference, but like I do agree that this tastes like a cheddar cheese, but like a sharp cheddar.
Yes.
And this to me tastes like a cheddar cheese, just like a milder version though.
Oh.
Like I do get a little bit more buttery, but not so heavily buttery where it was like, I remember mozzarella being super mild, super like milky, buttery flavor, and not so sharp. But then again, I also think like sometimes the products have like a lot more salt in them, so I think that kind of sways the flavor a bit.
Right.
Kind of. But then also you also put it on a little heavier here.
Right.
So it was kind of like, I'm not really sure,
Yeah.
like what am I feeling or what am I tasting?
Right.
I do want to say, although you put it on heavier though, I couldn't tell that it was heavier if you didn't tell me. So like it, as you said, like I didn't get any like gooiness. I didn't feel like it was like a mouthful or anything in that nature.
Right.
I also took just a small bite of it, but in general, I took a small bite of the other one too, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my thoughts. Overall, I think they're good though. Like, what's this?
That's we're just gonna taste this out of the bag. This is a Mexican one. The Mexican
Another
shreds.
Monterey Jack, basically?
It doesn't say Monterey. Monterey.
Monterey.
Monterey. Monterey.
Yeah.
Monterey. Monterey.
So you say it right, and then you're just gonna go all over the place with it?
Yeah.
Monterey? Is that what you keep saying? Monterey?
I don't know. Monterey. 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 Which one is it? Monterey Jack.
That's how I say it.
Okay. This is actually good out of the bag, which I don't feel like that with a lot of.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I don't like to eat them by themselves, but that actually wasn't too bad.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying.
Yeah, I was about to say that. You're just like.
I like it.
Going after it at this point.
But, all right, the last one we haven't tried is. I feel like I cut that really thick.
I was gonna say the same thing, but you know what?
No, I'm gonna have a hard time cutting it thin. Oh no, I got it. Okay, I'm gonna give you a cracker. So this is the feta. Here. And it says olive oil Greek style feta with olives and garden oregano. So it has olives actually in it. I don't like olives.
That's a good tasting cheese. I wouldn't have guessed that it was feta though. My eyes was closed. If my eyes were closed and I taste that, I wouldn't have guessed it was a feta. Also, visually, it doesn't look like a feta, but I guess because all the other added, items into there.
I feel like feta is supposed to crumble a little bit more, a lot more, and it doesn't. But I don't like olives, and I like the taste of this.
You don't like to eat olives. I think you like the taste of them, no?
I don't like it by itself.
Yeah, that's what I just said, no?
No, I'm saying I tried a piece of the cheese without a cracker.
Oh, you're saying I don't like it as in, like, you changed the subject to I don't like the cheese. You weren't talking about olives anymore.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah, it has to have a cracker for me. Overall thoughts.
I think that overall, I think that the cheese is fairly good. I'm not a fan of eating cheese by itself.
Right.
So I think for me, if I'm like on a scale of things, I think, this hits the same scale as like I wouldn't eat it on its own. In terms of other cheeses, where I think this cheese kind of starts to separate itself is right around the meltability, the gooiness, that weird mouthfeel for the cheese where it's stuck on the top of the roof or anything like that, or in between your teeth. And I do think the flavor stepped up just a little bit. I wouldn't say like this is like at the tip top of my list, but it's competitive, I think. And I'm not sure if that's due to the olive oil or not, because I feel like their cheese was fairly good before the olive oil was included. So I'm not sure the olive oil did anything for me personally.
Yeah.
But maybe for somebody else.
Yes. I do also want to talk, a lot of people when they hear oil, they immediately go to like saturated and trans fats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There, in a fourth a cup of the shreds, there is only 1 gram of saturated fat in each of them, and there's no trans fats. And then inside of the, what did I just say? Saturated and trans. Inside of the blocks, there is a little bit more. There is 3.5 grams, 3 grams, and I'm dropping cheese.
Yeah, you are. Dropping cheese.
Wait, that says saturated. Okay, saturated, trans, saturated, trans, saturated. So there's none inside of these. No trans or saturated fats. And then inside of.
As far as the serving size goes.
Yes.
Is the serving size the same? No. See, like the serving size on this says 1 ounce, and if you go by ounce, well, this has grams on it, so you can convert. This has 28 grams, which is 1 cube. So, roughly the serving size is the same. So I'm not sure how they swung that.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say, like, it's not.
You see it?
It's good on that end as well. For me personally,
about 1 cube, about.
I am someone who does like to eat cheese with crackers and like other vegetables and stuff like that, and I do like this a lot. I also like the shreds a lot. I think if it was easy for us to find and it was priced well, which this was sent to us, so we have to do some research on that, and then it'll be in the blog post. I think that would determine how often we would buy it, but I think if like sometimes we host parties and stuff like that, like I would pick these up to serve to guests and stuff, because I think that it's a good option for those that still eat dairy.
Okay.
Even though typically when we host parties, we're the only vegans. So, which is hard. But I think that this would be a good option.
All right, 2 things really quick. Maybe just one though. So because this was sent to us, do you feel that your feelings are completely forward about what you just tasted? Like, do you feel anything like, this is sent to us and I would feel some type of way, grading this one way or the next if I...
No, because we've always been honest. Like, there's no difference in me saying, like, I don't like this because it feels like there's, like, chalky stuff on the side of it. Like,
Yep.
I feel like people that get stuff sent to them, but they're not honest, they'd be like, oh, it's so amazing. And I'm not saying that. Like, I'm definitely saying, like, there are things about this that aren't my favorite. But I'm not being totally... only positive.
Yeah.
I don't know what I just said in my head, but that's what I'm trying to say.
You mean what you said out loud?
Yeah. Did I say what I was trying to say?
I'm not sure because I wasn't in your head.
Yes.
Okay.
We've always been objective here. I think it's one of the things that people love about us, whether something is sent to us or not, that we're completely upfront and honest. Just like saying, like, this is gross to me without a cracker. Like,
yeah.
So.
Well, good, because I mean, you mentioned that, and I think again, newer audiences may be kind of like, oh, now it makes sense. At some point,
to us.
It was sent to them, so
yeah,
I figured out that would help, set that apart.
Yeah.
But also, in my opinion, you usually ask me would I buy it. I personally wouldn't buy anything but the shreds.
Okay.
I don't think anything's like I thought was that good, personally. But also I'm not someone who likes to eat vegan cheese alone. So
right.
That's kind of like, asking someone who wouldn't eat alone, would they buy it? Like,
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't have bought it in the first place. You know what I mean? So.
Right.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I am.
It's kind of hard to.
The shreds, though, as far as buying that in comparison to like others that I like, as I said before, I don't think it's separated itself so much that I'm like, all right, this is my new go-to cheese. Like, not even a little bit. It hasn't separated it like that for me.
Yeah.
Has that done that for you? Like, has it put it? Is it at a place where you're like, okay, I have a go-to cheese. If this cheese is available and it's priced 30 cents cheaper, then your go-to cheese, I'm gonna go with this cheese.
That's hard because I feel like the go-to cheese that we typically buy is Daya because it's easy to find and it's priced comparable to most things.
Cutting board version with like the cheap, just.
Yes, because there's multiple out right now, and we haven't tried the new one yet.
But their old one, bro.
But I still feel like this melts better. And so if we're talking about certain things...
This melts better.
Yes.
Than that Daya.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to go get it right now and see?
I mean, definitely, and you should probably put a comment in there after, because we don't need to do that on camera, but 100%, I disagree.
Okay.
I 100% disagree.
We will do the same thing, and we will post a photo in the blog post, side-by-side comparison of the Daya versus this. All right, if you have tried Good Planet's new olive oil cheese, let us know in the comments what you think. Again, there will be a blog post inside of the description box that has where you can find this, the store locator, the price, ingredients, and all of that other information that you might want, as well as close-up images of the packaging and what it looks like overall. Any other things that I didn't say? I don't know what face I just made, but okay.
I wasn't looking at your face,
I
so
like,
I wouldn't.
I don't know what I did.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
I think we're done.
Okay. Have a great week and Happy New Year.
I believe in good.
Peace.
Yeah, peace.